It's 12:59.
About 70 people.
Huh? About 70 people.
Huh?
I started to count and then more people were walking in, so I got screwed up.
No, that's not a... No, now you got about 75. But it's raining now, too. Listen, I didn't want to come in now. You all right, Michael? Mm-hmm. Can you read that?
1 o'clock. Nikki says it's 1 o'clock. Okay.
Ladies by the table.
Welcome, everybody. The meeting's going to start now. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Opening prayer. Heavenly Father, we are grateful to you for being the source of our true joy in life. As we meet and make all things work together for our benefit, may your voice sound clearly above all others. Let your peace rest upon our hearts. May your grace enlighten our words. May your love be in our hands and your joy in our hearts. Please guide us with your spirit, and may your love surround us. May your voice give us strength, and may your peace give us comfort. May your shield protect us wherever you lead us. Amen.
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 I have a moment of silence, please. This is for all the veterans, and this moment of silence is also for our servicemen serving around the world that are protecting us. I want to do a special moment of silence for the people of Ukraine, for a prayer for their safety. Thank you.
Okay.
Roll call.
Okay. Sam?
Here.
Fran? Judy?
Here.
Gina?
Here.
Bruce? Here. Matt?
Here.
Michael?
Here. I'd like to make a motion to forego the reading of the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have to take a vote?
You can vote if you want. Okay, we're going to start with committee reports. And this meeting is going to be a little bit different.
They can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. This meeting is going to be a little bit different than what we have been doing in the past. Bear with me.
I can barely hear you.
What?
I'm looking for my paper.
I don't have
Okay, I'm sorry. When it comes to the question and answer section of this meeting, we need you to raise your hand. You stay in your seat. Somebody with a microphone will come up to you. You stand up, give us your name, ask your question. Each person will be allowed one question, and we'll go around the room constantly until everybody is satisfied that they asked whatever they need to know. Okay, so we're inviting now the committee people to come up and give their reports.
Press the button. Turn green.
Yeah, there's a button there.
It'll turn to you. Take it out of the stand.
Patty, somebody help her, please. Ann, can you help her turn that on?
That's all.
You got it.
Okay, Susan DiMaria. I have 3 hats again this month. First one is day planners. Our April trip to the winery and the May trip to the fishery are both full. We do have a waiting list. Things happen, people cancel. I am still planning June and July, so please watch the paper or come in and see us on the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the month where we will have the lists. And if you have any questions, my name and Carolyn's name, our telephone numbers are in the paper. Just give us a call. We have no problem. Second hat, bocce. Bocce started this week with many, many hiccups. Let's put it that way. We are going to have a bocce meeting next Tuesday. Between 6 and 6:30, it depends on when they stop, get done playing, up here in Clubhouse 2, for any complaints, for any questions, for any changes. If anybody still wants to sign up, we still have plenty of room. $7 for the year, it's not going to break the bank. Dance committee, hat number 3. Italian night is sold out. I believe we have 149 people. Our no-frills Saturday night dance for May 7th has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. We will keep anybody apprised of any changes. Right now, the next dance is the July 16th summer dance. The DJ for that dance is Billy Phillips, and I saw him at the St. Patrick's Day dance on the floor dancing. He was out on the floor dancing. He was singing. He was running up. He is really, really good. So, don't have a price on those tickets yet. But like I said, for all these things, please watch the newspaper. Please read the newspaper. You are paying to have that paper published. So I love when people say, I don't read the paper. It's coming out of your pocket. Thank you.
Thank you. Signing in. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carolyn Pavon. Everybody kind of knows me because we've been running the trips for the last 3 years, even though we had some COVID. Sue and I have been doing a good job. People have all been able to get out of their houses and go places, okay? But I took on another hat. I took on Recreation Committee. It's a big hat, okay? It's for entertainment for the community. It's for the games and sports, all right? And we'd like a lot of good members. And we have a scheduled meeting this month that's going to be April 19 in Clubhouse 1 at 1:30. All right? There was a list that I called everybody up. A lot of people said yes, they're interested, and we need some ideas. We need some ideas. So even if you don't want to belong to the Recreation Committee, per se, and you'd like to see us do something for you, all right, we'd like your ideas. My number is always in the paper, but if you want to get my personal business number, whatever, I'll give it to you at the back, all right? I don't want to repeat it out loud here, all right? And like I said, we'd like to have our meetings in Clubhouse 1 on the first, actually, not the first, we're going to have the third Tuesday. But you can always see us on the first and the third Tuesday because Sue and I are always there. And if you do call me, I do get back to you just about almost immediately. And a lot of people can vouch for that. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Patty Priest. I'm with the Welcome Committee. The Welcome Committee is up and running, and we are working hard on a new and updated version of our welcome packet. All new residents will receive this welcome packet with the bylaw binder upon purchase of their new home in Holiday City at Berkeley. The packet will be full of useful information to help you navigate and transition easier into the new community. And there will be information in regard to clubs, committees, activities, pertinent information for hospitals, where to go get blood work done at labs, food stores, malls, restaurants, and more. There will be a meeting for the Welcome Committee on April 13th at 6 p.m. in the library. Anyone interested in joining us is more than welcome. We would love to have you, and come out and welcome everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Any more reports? Okay, now we're going to go to the treasurer's report. Gina?
Hi, everybody. In the general checking account, in the general checking account, as of now, we have $667,691.43. In payroll, we have $17,558.25. In our capital improvements, we have $765,428.40, with the total becoming $1,450,678.08. That's what I got.
Okay, thanks. Very good, thank you.
Okay, and next we're going to do the director's report, starting with Sam.
What about this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sam, hold up 1 second. I'm sorry. Ruth has the housing report. Sorry.
It's okay. Houses sold in March 2022 were 33 for a total of $16,500. Houses rented in March of 2022 were 3 for a total of $600. Houses pending to close are 18 for a total of $9,000. The total properties with judgments are 18. The number of current liens is 179. Number of liens pending, 0. We moved 17 old liens and they're not recorded yet. The properties with a second lien for non-payment of maintenance fees, 43. Properties with payment agreements are 4. And the attorney handling foreclosures are 18. Collection issues, 17. And other issues of 40. And that's it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, Sam, you're good.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, wow.
I spoke to the owner of the company that's doing the bocce courts, redoing the bocce courts last Friday. He said he hasn't been able to get here because of the weather. He was hoping to get here this week, but obviously this is pretty much a washout too. So hopefully we can get him here next week to do that. I also had spoken to him about the pickleball courts. He told me that the pickleball courts will need to be completely ripped up and redone. But he's working on an estimate, so I have no idea what the estimate will be. As soon as I get it, I'll forward it on to you, that information. The rental lot. As you know, we took back the rental lot for the campers, boats, and trailers. We are currently organizing the lot and contacting all the non-residents of HCB to let them know that they will not be allowed to renew their lease. This will free up a lot of space for those who need one. As you already know, it's against HCB bylaws to have any of these on your property. So if you have one, please contact the office as soon as possible. You can ask for me or anybody else if you need to talk about it. We'll get you an appointment to come in and at least fill out a lease paper or put you on a waiting list. We do have spots available now. And when we get the non-residents out, we will have plenty for everybody. But just keep in mind that you can't have these on your property, right? You need to talk to us about it. It's against the rules. It doesn't look good. It makes the street look bad with big campers and whatever on your property, boats. So, you know, for $600 a year, that's a pretty good deal. If you checked out there in town, it's well above that. So, you know, just call us and make an appointment or talk to us about it. You have one on your property, you need to talk to us. Don't wait till we come by and say have to knock on your door, because that's not right. And for now, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. We have a lot of,
Back it up, Judy.
Back it up a little bit. There you go.
we have a lot to talk about. We're voting on the solar probably for Clubhouse 2 here, because Clubhouse 1, the roof is not in the best condition to put solar on it. The attorney is reviewing the lease agreement now. It should save us at least $10,000 a year in electric fees, which is money to help. As far as the badges go, the swipe cards, we couldn't get them. They were more than we thought it was going to be. We're using badge checkers, hopefully, majority of people that live in here to pay, so they'll be making the money and we'll be going out to just the kids. We're moving along with other things. As he said, we took the parking lot back. That's going to bring money in. We are also doing a lot of complaints with Todd because there's a lot of things that were approved over the years, like fences and things, that nothing should exceed the size of the building. We're getting more and more cases where that is so. They say, oh, this guy has it, that guy has it, why can't we? Nobody can have anything that exceeds the size of your building. Fences, sheds, nothing. Has to be within the back perimeters of the house. And you have to have a approval form. Even if it's just dumpster in the driveway, no matter what you're doing. We don't want somebody calling us saying somebody's doing something, not know ahead of time what exactly is going on. If the house is being flipped, we should have a form filled out by the flippers saying that they're going to be doing stuff, so we have a record of any of that. We have a lot of complaints going. We had a total of 45 complaints from the beginning of the year. 20 of them are still working. 22 have complied, 3 are pending. We have 7 grass complaints for broken sprinkler heads. Every one of them has been taken care of as of date. We have 16 construction modifications. 4 of them were rejected, 10 were approved, 2 of them are pending. So we're moving along, getting them done as fast as we can. The hardest thing is, like I said, so many things that were let go over the years that they can't have it. And we don't know how to address this to the public, to the people that are here, to let them know that if they sell the house, these things aren't going to be in compliance. And there's things we have to direct to. We have to figure out how we're going to handle them. In the meantime, you should know what your bylaws are. You should read them diligently in the book so you know what you can and can't do. And no matter what you do, come in for modification.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I need those numbers. Oh, Fran, I'm sorry, I'm Fran today, I'm sorry. This is Fran's report. There are no more spots available for the vendor fair. Please spread the word. The fair is May 14th, Saturday. The Welcome Committee will have a table with new club, classes, and activity directory. Thanks to Patty Priest and her committee for their hard work. She would like to wish everyone a happy Easter and a Passover. Happy Passover.
Thank you.
As a treasurer, I also took over the bulletin. The new rule is everything goes through me in the bulletin so we can read it and check it and approve it, so there's no slander. And reread them. So if there's anything slander or whatever that shouldn't be in there, you know, I need to make sure it's not. So my email address is gina.m.hcb@gmail.com.
Very good.
Okay, on to the beautification projects. That was my goal for when I started.
Here, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Get it closer to your mouth.
Yeah, but I don't want to blow. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Beautification projects, we're starting. We're starting up the spring cleaning. We have the guys cleaning up the pools, the rust removal, the sidewalks we're starting on. Power washing sidewalks, removing the stains off sidewalks, steps, railings. Maintenance is going to continue painting the clubhouse behind, one. They're going to paint up whatever signs that need to be painted from the rust and from the sprinklers. They're also going to adjust all the sprinkler heads prior to all this. In the warmer weather, with the beautification committee, we're going to start relocating the plants and bushes and try to make the areas look nicer than they are now. Flowers, bushes, something deer resistant, hopefully. I also have High Tech designing the area in the back of Clubhouse to the hill. I'm still waiting on them. They said maybe in another week, they'll start sending me the designs so we can approve or not approve it. And after we're done planting and everything, High Tech will also come and mulch the whole clubhouses for us. And that's all I have.
Oh, go ahead, Judy. Judy needs to add something. Thank you, Gina.
I wanted to add that I have been in touch with John LeCompte from Remington and Vernon, and he said, in reference to the waterways, that he had checked out the one, I don't know what's wrong with my mic. I think they deliberately do this to me. Anyway, he said that they have inspected the one done a couple of years ago on Jamaica.
Cone. It's the cone that's missing.
Here is it.
Here, put this in. Okay. Give her this one. You know what it is? Without that cone, you're going to get feedback.
Check the other one.
There you
Okay.
go.
On Jamaica, they had inspected the waterway on Jamaica. They said a couple of years ago it was done over, and it should last another 20 years, they said. The pipe was cleaned out, they built a new platform on Jamaica. They're looking to check out Bannier and Bimini, and John LeCompte from Remington and Vernon, which is the township engineers, is expecting to get back as soon as they can get out there. They're gonna have to get in the water to inspect the ones on Bimini to see exactly what has to be done with them. So as far as those go, they should be right. Hopefully the towns can be able to take care of it. We're trying to get more DEP monies to cover everything, so that'll help us.
I don't need it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Judy, grass.
Judy Grass.
You also-
Grass?
Oh, she
Grass.
does the grass. You got anything with grass?
I said,
I took care of it.
I think I answered already for the grass
Yeah, I think
containment.
she
I
did
said,
too.
any truck, well, first of all, they're gonna cut between 10 and 14 days. They're gonna work towards trying to do it every 10 days. The worst you should have to wait is 14. That's the thing we're mostly working on. That was the biggest complaint last year, that people waited forever for them. So they are gonna try to get to them by 14 the latest. And the complaints were that, I already answered that, I think that the 7 complaints we had about broken sprinklers, they already went out and handled that in order. So they've been working good. They're gonna bring us no mow signs to bring in. I guess people get them from us at the office, they're bringing them into us.
Thank you. There you
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you, Judy.
There you go.
My name is Matt, and I handle the tree complaints.
Closer.
I handle the tree complaints. My name is Matt, and since the beginning of the year, we have had 35 complaints. 11 of the tree complaints were taken care of by our tree person, and the rest of them we didn't have to worry about them. So we're trying our best to take care of everyone that we get. We give a call, we go and visit them, and we tell them whether it's our responsibility or the homeowners. And that's all I have on the trees. Thank you.
Okay, as I give this report, I just want to let everybody know, and I'm pretty sure you can recognize this, that all the directors are working together and they're working hard for Holiday City, Berkeley. These were a couple issues that were raised over the last month. I do pay attention to what people say. Handicap parking for Clubhouse 2, we're hearing a lot of mentioning of that they want more handicap parking. Well, through doing pavements or elevators or anything like that, it's going to be expensive to do. There are other solutions, and I'm pretty sure everybody here has played golf, and you rent a golf cart. Well, they make a golf cart that sits 10 people, where if needed, we can have the golf cart at the bottom of the steps and drive you around to the handicap door to enter 10 at a time. I don't think we would have to take 2 trips, but that's the least expensive way that we could possibly address this. We could do ramps and things, but being on a hill like this, I don't know if they can get the pitch that would be handicap approved. Gina touched on spring cleaning. The guys have been working hard. They've been power washing for a week and a half already. I did mention about the questions and answers on how we're going to run that part of the meeting. My next subject is something that I'm kind of like focusing on a little bit, is the Housing of Older Persons Act and filling out the HOPA forms. We had a meeting with our lawyer. this past Friday, April 1st, and we discussed this, and we were instructed that we need to get these forms filled out. And we are allowed to go through our files, and who did not fill out their form, we can knock on their door. You must fill out this form. So we're looking to help everybody. We need some volunteers that will help us knock on doors, where we would give you like maybe 5 or 10 addresses close to you and help these people fill out the forms. Some of them don't have computers or copiers or anything like that. You just take a picture. If you have a smartphone, you take a picture of their identification, fill out the form, bring it in. We'll take it from there. Okay. Parking lot enforcements and fines. Sam's working on this. And one of the things, once we get full control of everything and we have it in place, what we want to do is, if you have a trailer on your property, you will be fined. We're going to enforce those fines that are according to the bylaws. If we don't have parking lots, that we'll address that when we, parking spots, we'll address that when we get to it. But we need to clean up the properties. We promised to do this, so we're working hard to do that. As for our new legal representation, all the files and paperwork from the old lawyer have been transferred to the new lawyer, including all the flipper contracts and the escrow money. And it's all been accounted for 100%. What we're looking to do with the flippers is a little bit different. We think we need to police them a little bit more. So when the final step for a flipper is they come in to sign the final paper, and the president signs last. And before I sign that piece of paper, I'm going to make them sign a modification form that they understand that anything that's done on the outside of the home, this form must be filled out, whether you need a permit or not. It must be filled out, because what's happening is they're not following our bylaws that everybody else has to follow, and it's causing a big problem. Oh, they got a fence and I want a fence, and all this stuff is happening, and we're trying to get that under control. So I am going to require any flipper that buys a house, I think we have 36 right now out there working hard. They will have to fill out a modification form. I'm going to have Ruth, the lovely secretary here, she's going to get the list of the account directors as they're out on the street doing their regular tree inspections or code inspections. They'll have that list with them, and if they're close to the house, they can inspect it to make sure they're not putting a 14-foot or an 18-foot addition on the back of the house. They're not putting fences that are 20 feet away from the house that have been submitted to the township. We will be policing those plans, that they're following those plans. Now, according to, if there's a building permit that needed to come into play, like a Florida room or something like that, those plans should be on site at all time, and that's a township rule or even a state rule. Okay, and my last touching with you will be our website. This month we should have some pages that we can put in there, but we want to get the basic site up, and then we'll be working on the different menus and links. We have volunteers that are coming around that are going to help us. I think it'll open up the community, bring us together a little bit more. And then as for the YouTube channel, great results on that. An example would be, and even today we have a low count because of the weather, but last meeting that we had, there were 95 attendees in there, and we have over 200 that watched that YouTube live. So I think that's a great thing. I think it's informational for everybody. They need to know the answers. Any questions that you have, we will answer them.
I need to say something else, Michael.
Excuse me?
I want to say something.
Okay, Judy wants to do her fifth.
Let me borrow your mic.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second.
Big majority of the complaints we're getting is about people parking cars on grass. I wish they would stop parking cars on grass. You're allowed to do that in the snow, only then. Cars should only be in the driveway or in the street. We're getting a lot of other complaints about children living in houses. People are allowed to have company. Kids are only supposed to be there for 30 days. If there's unusual circumstances, they can request an addition. We're working on that. We're finding a lot of them are renters that have children living there. We're working on it, we're sending out notices, we're hoping we're getting somewhere with it, we don't know, but that's a lot of the things we're getting complaints about, like I said, mainly people parking on grass and people not taking garbage out. We had one elderly man that couldn't get his garbage out. We literally went and put his bags out 3 times now already, black bags. We're trying to get help with that, but it's hard to walk on somebody's property and put their garbage out, so hopefully, if they get a letter from their doctor, they can get arrangements made with Public Works where they'll come to the door and pick up your garbage. So if you know anybody that's having issues being able to get their garbage out, tell them, bring their doctor's note to the Public Works or call them and they'll make arrangements for the garbage men to go and pick it up right from the door.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can see we're all wearing several hats. Okay, we're all doing different things and we're all learning together. It's not like we have one rule to follow. I do try to inform the directors of different things if they're not familiar with certain areas. In your bulletin that will be coming out the next issue, I did put in there what Judy was talking about, visitors that can stay in your house. And the way our bylaws are written is that the owner of the house, 55, their son or daughter can live with them if they're under 55. No other relative can live with them for more than 30 days a year, whether it be a grandchild or a nephew or a daughter-in-law cannot stay for more than 30 days per calendar year. So the Bylaw Committee is a very important committee, and we've been having meetings every Thursday at 3 o'clock in the library. And we use the screen to present the different bylaws that we're working on. This particular bylaw about who can live in this community took us probably an hour and a half to understand, and it's only a long paragraph because we had to keep on reading it, and all the people in the committee would talk and discuss what the true meaning is, and that's the thing we came up with. Yes?
The child needs to be over 19.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, yes, the child needs to be over 19 too, but anybody under 50, any child, it could be your daughter or it could be your son, they can stay there as long as they're over 19. Okay, so that bylaw is, I put it in the bulletin coming out. You can read it. I don't know if the print's going to show the highlighted area where I did highlight part of it. But I invite everybody, come to this bylaw committee meeting. It's more of a class for everybody. And we'll let you participate in it. We have, I think, maybe 10 people in there now. And we're going through things that nobody knew. Okay, and an example will be, last month, we had the past board contesting the appointments of Fran and the 2 new directors. And one of the reasons why there's a confusion there is because the bylaws are not updated. And we talked to the lawyer about updating the bylaws. So I made a copy of when that bylaw was amended. And it was written in November of 2019, and then it was filed on April 1st of 2021, a year and way overdue. Now, when an amendment is done, it should be filed immediately, or a timely manner they call it in the law. But this was way out of range. So if the past board wanted to look up what the real law was, they couldn't find it. It was hard for me to find it. I was lucky to find it. And the way I found it was I had a meeting with the board, and the lawyer was present in that meeting on, I think it was the 30th of March of last year. And the next day, because the lawyer showed me how to look up something. He says, because I needed to find something. So he showed me how to look it up. And when I looked it up, I noticed the next day he filed this amendment that should have been filed well over a year ago. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's clear to read. I'm going to give the copy to Barbara. If you need Any answers, she'll be able to read this to you and give you the answers on that bylaw.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to go to questions and answers. Okay,
Microphones.
yeah. Oh, Barbara Agner, I'm sorry, Barbara Agner.
Now, who are you going to give the copy?
Barbara Agner, I'm sorry.
You going to give it to her?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the one that contested.
Where's the other option?
She's
Okay,
got the microphone.
is it on, Ann?
Are we ready?
Yes, it is on.
Okay.
Questions, anybody questions?
This young lady wants to go
Young
first?
lady.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what I want to know is, are we going to have a pool party this year? Because we haven't had one in 3 years.
I already started looking into it. We're trying for the third week in August.
Okay, next.
I think Ruth and Gina are putting that together, and
August.
with Fran also, the three of
Third
them.
week in August is what Judy told us the old board used to have. So we are,
We're planning on having it the third week of August. This is what we were told prior parties were done.
so.
So we're working on it. Myself, Gina, and Fran.
Because the only reason I asked
Oh.
was as far as getting a caterer. Like, we used to get Blue Fountain and they were really good. And in fact, I started calling, I called just to find out for myself if they were doing the barbecues and all that.
Yeah, I actually have a company, it's Portuguese barbecue grill, so I figure grilled ribs, grilled chicken, it comes with all the shrimp, paella,
French
fish,
fries.
French fry, it's so-
Soup to nuts.
Yeah, they're working on it. Okay, question in the back.
No, one,
Question in the back. You can ask in a minute, Darlene. Question in the back there.
Hi,
Yeah.
former board member. I would just like to dispel any feelings that there's animosity here. I really want to wish the new board all the best. Keep going. You seems like you're doing a good job.
Thank you, Darlene.
I actually have.
Oh, it's not on. Green light, Ann.
green
It's on.
light.
Okay. There you go.
No.
I don't think this is.
It's
No,
working
no.
now. It did turn on.
Okay, now here we go.
Okay.
I actually have a question and a statement. Will that be allowed? Because you said one.
Yes, yes.
Okay. First of all, the statement is, I just realized there's two statements. The statement is, for the past 3 months, and I do read the bulletin, there have been articles in the bulletin that the prior board offered absolutely no assistance to the incoming board. There have been little notes, little blurbs that the prior board, of which I was a member, offered no assistance. That's not entirely true, because if you remember, Michael, you were there. I don't think Gina was, but I know the two board members that resigned were at that meeting. The last board meeting that was held by the outgoing board and the incoming board, we all sat in a conference room. We discussed some confidential matters that had to be addressed, and I personally offered to fill the 7th seat. And I mentioned to you that it might be in your best interest to have a prior board member as part of your board to give you a hand, because coming in there cold in January was not going to be an easy thing for you. I offered. You refused. Do you recall?
I recall a different situation, yes.
Well, listen,
Well,
we're not gonna
that's
argue
not
this
how I
point.
remember it, but that's my statement.
Okay.
The other statement is, if this meeting is being recorded to be loaded to YouTube. I don't know if there's a waiver here, but I don't believe you have permission to upload the images of the residents of this community without their permission. I do not give you permission to upload my image to YouTube. That's me. Now here's my question. In the budget report, in February, with the February budget in the April issue, under income, interest, income, $11,000. What kind of an account do we have, none that I ever recall, that would earn us $11,000 in interest? That's my question. There are also some questions in the budget that are posted in the paper. Repairs and maintenance for January, $3,100.68. For February, $3,100.68. Seems a very specific amount to have an expense exactly the same for 2 months. I'm just questioning that. The other thing I'm questioning...
Excuse me, can I answer the questions before?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. On the two items that you just mentioned about the budget report in the February issue, that was done by the past treasurer. Okay, so those errors are corrected now if you read the current reports as they come out. I'm sure they're corrected now, but that was written by the past treasurer, not the existing. Okay.
Excuse me, but I didn't write any treasurer's report for January of 2022 or February of 2022.
Okay.
And that's what this purports to be.
Yes, and it was done by the past treasurer.
Well, I was the past treasurer. I didn't write this.
The past treasurer was the one that resigned. He was the treasurer. I don't want to get into...
Okay.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay, but it wasn't the prior board.
No,
Not
at all.
Because I ain't taking the rap for that.
No way.
Okay. My mother didn't raise any stupid children. One of them maybe, but he's dead.
If you read the current reports that are coming out now, they are accurate because
Okay,
they're more than
because
double.
I would like to know how we made 11,000 in interest. Now here's another thing. Down here in expenses. The last item is interest income, $175. You can't have it both ways.
Listen, I didn't do the report. The report is correct. If you look at the reports, the current ones that we're giving you today and the one that will be printed in the upcoming bulletin.
You're talking about the profit and loss statement.
I'm talking about that, and I'm also talking about the Excel spreadsheet that gives a more definite explanation to the funds. That report that you are reading was done by the past treasurer who resigned, and there were a lot of errors in there.
Okay. The other question I have concerns our budget. No, wait a minute. I'm still on the budget report.
Yeah, but you're on the ninth question, but go ahead.
Okay.
Everybody else wants to answer.
At our, I believe it was January meeting, the one that was so disruptive.
Last month, March.
No.
March 2nd, yes. It's built into my life. That's how bad that was. March 2nd.
Let's move on.
Oh, maybe it was. Okay. I don't know. The president of the board requested that he be reimbursed $1,413 for monies that he shelled out to replace some computer equipment, etc. I don't see that in the budget report. If $1,400 was repaid to you, it should show as an expense.
It probably does in the office expenses, the total. We didn't break it down into each individual pricing, and nobody's ever broke it down like that. It was our goal to eventually do that. We didn't get that far, but it's under office expense because we replaced computers in the office. The ones that are in the library, I personally donated. There was no expense for the library.
I don't doubt you. I'm not doubting what you're saying. I'm just saying it should be transparent in the budget report.
Okay, well, you can come into the office with any of your questions. I have answers to everything that you're asking right now, but I think we should move on in the meeting.
Okay.
Questions?
That you're giving me,
I can't hear you. Say that again?
is the pay you're giving me going to be in the expense?
I can't hear you.
He's messing with you.
The pay you're giving me to do this going to be in the budget report next month.
It's in there.
You got it.
All right, who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
Carol.
Carol in the back. What do you got, Carol?
It's Terry.
These people can't turn on.
What's wrong with this?
I don't know. Green light should be
Put
on.
it right to your face. No. I hear it. What's going on?
It's the way she's
Something's
holding
wrong
it.
with
It's like
Yeah.
a loose wire.
I am.
There you
Okay.
go. We heard you.
I just wanted to know, is the issue in the fitness room being addressed where the circuits blow every time you use the treadmill?
That's new to us.
That's new to us.
Yeah, when you use the treadmills in the fitness room, the circuits blow.
Okay.
So we have to call the office, they get maintenance to come, and they
We didn't
reset
know.
it.
No one said nothing.
I'll text
Yeah,
Shannon.
this is the first we're hearing of
I'll
that, so
text
I don't
Shannon.
know, if it was addressed with a maintenance person. I do want to say this, that any issues that anybody comes up with like this one here, they must contact the office first. If you contact the maintenance, it's not going to work, because now we're going back and forth. It goes to us first for anything that you may need.
We have an answer.
Oh.
Shannon said he just put 2 new breakers in and it should be taken care of.
Okay, Shannon just reported that he put 2 new breakers in and it should be taken care of. Let us know if it works. Okay?
Thank you.
But we were never informed because it probably went to the maintenance first and the board was never told any of this. And that we should be told everything that happens.
They were working.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, what
Yes.
I want to know is now for the picnic, okay? We have to get a DJ. And, you know, the dance club, the dance committee's been handling all that for the dances.
Right.
Right.
Because the last thing we want is DJ Louie.
No. I was gonna actually approach someone from the dance
Okay.
committee.
Because in fact, the DJ I booked for July 16th, he's really good. Susan mentioned him. I went and listened to him at South as well. In fact, today, he's sending me the contract for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, can we hire the DJ once you get the date, or are you guys gonna take care of it?
No, I was gonna actually go to one of you guys.
Okay.
I know nothing about the details.
Because if
so-
he's available, believe me,
I'm
you
gonna,
want
let
him.
me give you the exact date. It will be August 17th,
Great.
so if you can help me with that. Help me with that, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question in the back.
Okay. With state,
Name?
No, can't hear her.
we're not hearing you. Oh, sorry, Joan Macmillan. And I did initial solar. The mic's not working. What is the upkeep of solar
First of all, Ms.
cost?
No upkeep. Go ahead. Judy, she was asking about
the solar cost.
the upkeep cost of solar. Can you answer that? Here you go. Here you go, Nick. Judy, just use that one. Watch that one.
There is no upkeep cost. First of all, the installation, it's a 20-year lease. And because of it being a lease, anytime there's a problem, they come back and fix whatever they have to fix for nothing. It's covered. There's no upkeep cost. We're not buying it. We're leasing it for 20 years. At the end of 20 years, they'll come and take it off. And then that's the end of it. If you want to do a roof and replace it and do another lease, you can do that. There's no cost to us at all. It's going to be at least a $10,000 decrease a year.
A month.
A month.
No,
It's 10,000 a month.
No, it's
no,
not.
it is not.
It's a
It's
year.
$10,000 for the year.
For a year?
At least every year, decrease in their electric fees. So it's a benefit to us. It's like a no-brainer. We're not paying nothing. And the roof itself was done recent enough that there's a guarantee on the roof, and that's why we chose this. They're not going to penetrate the roof on building 2 at all. In the clubhouse here, it's just gonna be a rack system that'll be on here, and it's guaranteed already for a 20-year guarantee that we have from the company. When it was done from a firm in Pennsylvania, KPT firm, and they gave us a guarantee on it.
Very good, thank you. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
So it's no
Question?
cost to us.
Question in the back.
Next.
Question in the back. Go ahead. Hopefully you got it.
Can't hear.
Something's wrong with the microphones. They're crazy.
Probably the batteries are dying. I can hear something.
No.
You shouldn't have to turn it on and off.
No, they should stay on.
Yay, I got a green light. Susan DiMaria, I just want to get back to your statement on flipping houses. We have a friend who bought a flipper, and she has had the gentleman who did the house in at least 3 or 4 times already. Who inspects these houses before they're allowed to be sold? Because I've heard a lot of other complaints for people who have bought flipped houses. The floors, 6 months down the line. I had somebody across the street from me. Had to have the roof fixed, had to have two sump pumps put in. I mean, who's inspecting these houses? And who's really keeping track of these flippers in this development?
Okay, thank you.
I'll answer part of that question because I bought a house down here that was flipped, okay? And before I purchased the house, my mortgage company told me to get an inspector. And the inspector came in and he inspected the house before he got a penny. And he checked everything. He checked the roof, he checked the heat, he checked the toilets, the electric, everything. All done by an inspector that I paid for, okay? So when I bought that house, there was nothing hidden. And I hate to say this, but I wouldn't give you $250,000 for a house unless I had it inspected.
No. She did have it inspected, but it's like little things. Like she got in there and there was a broken window. She got in, tiles were broken. It was little things. And I mean, she was lucky enough that the man that did the house has been coming back. But there are others with these little odds and ends. They don't come back.
Excuse me, Ann, keep that microphone in your hand, please.
I will, sir. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
First of all, most of the things they're doing don't require building permits. So if they don't require a building permit, there's no building inspection being done. If they come in and say they're changing windows, there's no permit required, there's no inspections made. If they're doing a roof or siding, no inspections made because there are no permits required by the town. We want to know what they're doing so we have a record of somebody calling and saying there's work going on, that we know what's going on. But we cannot make them get permits that the building department doesn't require them to get. I say they should get them for the windows because they're not doing direct replacements. They're not placing sliders with sliders, double hung with double hung. But for some reason, they're getting away with it and they're not getting permits. And those things they're not changing heating systems. They're not changing your floorboards. They're not changing floor joists. The house was built in 72 and it's going to be structured that was built in 72. They're not changing floor joists in the house. They're only changing carpeting, cosmetic things. And that's what people aren't realizing. That you're not getting, unless the roof really needs to be done, they're not changing it. They're not changing heating systems either, unless they have to be done. It's mostly cosmetic work that you're paying for. And that's why we can't help what happens. I read something on an article about a roof coming apart, but that's truss roofs. Truss roofs are together with a plate. They can come apart. We don't have truss roofs in Berkeley section. We have stick frame roofs and constructions, all stick framed here.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's a question over here.
Oh, there you are.
Roberto Lasapio, getting back to the solar panels.
Right.
You had said that there's a warranty on the roof here, so the solar panels will not negate that warranty?
Not as far as we know.
Okay, because that's what the old board told everybody.
Well, no, we had to sign a lease and we have to certify that the roof will be able to withstand for 20 years. As far as we know, the guarantee that we have from when the guy did the roof is guaranteeing it for 20 years. That's all we had to do. They're not going to penetrate the roof, which was a great thing, that they weren't going to be putting holes in the roof. They're going to do what they call a rack system on it. So we shouldn't have any problem at all with it. That was our concern with Clubhouse 1. That's why we didn't go ahead with Clubhouse 1.
Question?
Okay, any other questions?
Oh, got it.
Good.
Run here.
I can't do it. I can't hold it, right? Okay.
Okay.
Ronnie Smith. My understanding, if I am hearing right, because it's not very easy to understand everybody here, the roof that you're putting the panels from the solar panels, it's not costing us anything to put them on? Absolutely zero.
Zero.
There's a contract that we enter into, a contract.
Yeah.
We enter into a contract that's $200 and something thousand, that if they would put on and they had to come off, we would have to pay to have them cut off and back on. That's why we wanted to make sure the roof could be guaranteed for the 20 years. They also come out and inspect it, which they will do. Now that we picked the company, they will come out and inspect it themselves. Then that's when we'll sign the contract. When they know that we saying the roof's good for 20 years, so anything that happens is a result of the system. But because they're not penetrating the roof was the big thing that we were interested on this building. Because of it being a flat roof, they're not going to be nailing anything into it. They do what they call a rack system that would hang on the sides. So that was a concern to us. So no, that's why we went ahead with this. We didn't go. We couldn't guarantee Clubhouse 1. That's why we didn't go there. The roof, I think, was last on there. Maybe it'll probably last another 10 years, but we could say it'll last 20. So that's why that would have been a good savings if we could have. So maybe 5 or 10 years down the road, they may consider doing the roof over and then having panels on that. That would have cost you, then we would have $27,000 savings every year on electric, which would have been good.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any more questions? Okay, I just want to say that I'm going to address Barbara again on her questions and stuff. And I apologize to Barbara because I wasn't trying to represent that we didn't have directors' meetings. There were 2 meetings that were called, and under the bylaws, they are required to have all the directors, old and new, come to those meetings. There were 2 of them. What I was referencing was I sat in that library for over 30 days in a row, hoping to get inside the office and learn where the pencils are, or learn something about the office. I was surprised that 2 directors did offer us a little bit of time, and Terry was first. She spent a little bit of time with us going through a couple things, and then John McGinnis was second. He went through a couple things. I'm going to say each one of those meetings were less than an hour. We didn't know how to make a bulletin because nobody wanted to show us, and we took office on the 3rd. The bulletin's due on the 7th. We had 3 days to put the first bulletin together, and we had to meet the publisher and do all kinds of things, and bank transfers and everything. So I sat in that library for 30 days. So not one director came in there to try to say, come on in, let me show you where the pencils are, or anything. And that's what I was referencing, not the 2 meetings that we took together as both boards, which they were required to do.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Barbara.
According to our bylaws.
Go ahead, put the microphone up there, please. Yes.
Is it on? Okay.
Yeah.
According to the bylaws, I
Yes.
don't know if you read this in the bylaws, that the new directors are allowed to sit in on board meetings.
Correct.
It doesn't say that you're allowed to come into the office when you feel like it, sit at a
Correct.
desk, find out where the pencils are. That, we went according to the bylaws. Will you agree with that, sir?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Okay. It would have been nice if you offered some help. You knew you had 7 people coming in that were brand new and knew nothing. Nobody offered anybody anything.
Let's make a motion.
Okay. I make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
I second it motion.
Really?
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
really.
Really?
Don't stop.
My glasses on.
Meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
Here's Miss Know-It-All. She's not a know-it-all.
Here's your bylaw.
Right, you want to read them?
Can I tell them that though? I sat in that movie. Nobody ever saw it. Nobody.
I know.
I
It
sat
doesn't
in
matter.
that
It doesn't
hall
matter.
waiting too. Nobody said, come on.
All right,
and we'll show you."
yeah, meeting's over. We don't want to start any more trouble here. I'm sorry. Here you go, boy.
Michael, I offered my time to help children.
Nobody did. Nobody did. Yes. Papa, there's some forms in the back there.
No, I'm talking about knocking on the door.
Oh,
I put in 2 requests.
we don't have a form to sign up, but we need people to do this. Okay, so I got you. I know who you are. I'll get it. Oh, Barbara? Yeah, I know. What are you going to do? She didn't help us.